happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you fine, wanna have a good time, then like, comment, and subscribe. Hey everyone, this is Tasha, aka Miss Tashh, back at it again with another video, you know what I'm saying? And I am here to address the elephant in the room. And by elephant, my retirement. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you would have seen that I had announced my retirement from pageantry. It was a very emotional post, but it was a very relieving one as well. A lot of times people ask me, why did I retire? I've been doing pageantry for 11 years now. I started when I was 12, and my very first pageant, as you guys know, was NAM. I love NAM to death, still love NAM to death, but things have changed in pageantry since I started as a preteen. I started pageantry because I suffered a lot with bullying, social anxiety, panic attacks. I had a speech impediment, which made it worse. So my mom and my dad decided to put me in my first pageant. As around that time, I was also taking acting and modeling classes. They put me in those as well. I started that when I was around 10 or 11. And pageants was like something that's completely off the radar. I have never thought about competing in one before, ever. And I didn't want to compete because I was terrified to having to go on stage in front of people and talk or walk or just be seen. It was very frightening for me. Compared to me now, of course, it doesn't seem that way. But as a child, I had no interest in being in this industry. I was literally terrified of humans. Very traumatized of society and what they would say to me and how they would react to me, respond. But my parents took a chance on me, so I took a chance on myself, and that's why I decided to start pageants. And after my first year with NAM, it was very rewarding, and I fell in love with the art. But most likely, it was because I fell in love with what they did for me. It really brought me out of this shell I didn't even know I had. I was so comfortable and content with being in this box and not ever just expanding and spreading my wings. But pageantry has really forced me out of my comfort zone into a zone I never thought that would exist for myself. So I will forever be grateful for that opportunity and that experience. But as a 23-year-old now, the industry has definitely changed for me, passion-wise, and I think that a lot of times pageantry can be political, which means that not everyone's getting a fair opportunity and a fair chance to showcase their talent or be a representative. I am one of those people that believe that everything happens for a reason, and I always thought my time would come. I could say that my time hasn't came yet. I just felt like I was investing so much time, energy, and especially money into something that wasn't loving me back. It wasn't loving me as much as I loved it. And I've heard people tell me that if I change this, and that, then maybe I'll place or win. But here's the thing, I feel like most pageant systems have this vision of telling people to be themselves, be you, represent what you represent, and don't let anybody tell you different. But it's very hypocritical. You're telling people, and this is just in general, telling people to be themselves, but then you're also judging them for who they are. And I, for one, I don't use pageant coaching. I've tried it in the past, and there were very sweet people, but it didn't seem like me. It wasn't something that I was happy with. I wasn't happy with having to change who I was to fit someone else's standards or acceptance. And there's nothing wrong with pageant coaching, and I feel like a lot of people do need it, or they feel more comfortable with having it. Maybe it makes them feel more confident, makes them feel like, you know, they're working really hard to their goal, and that's fine. And to me, I don't think that's something for me. I don't want it. I'd rather, you know, do trial and error, learn from my mistakes, and change when I want to change, and not when someone's telling me to change. But that being said, I've had people tell me if I had pageant coaching, I would win. And I don't like that statement being out in the air, because I shouldn't need it to be myself, and I don't need it to be myself, and I wouldn't change anything about how I compete at all. Of course, there's always chances to get better, but I wouldn't change it. My way of learning, my way of giving back is to go through my experiences, and even on YouTube, I document all my wins and losses, despite if I placed, did well, or anything. I don't like to single out any particular pageants for the way that I feel, but it's just in general, because I've done a lot of them, and I've noticed that most systems, they stop caring about the contestants, and they care more about the money, how much money they're getting from these contestants, and then rather just making it an experience for them to enjoy and thinking about them. And I spent so much money on these pageants that only think about the income or how much money they can make off of each contestant, and they stop thinking about the contestants, how they feel, their experience, you know, giving them something to come back to. And it turned into this big, just, I don't know how to describe it, but you lose confidence now instead of gaining it. I lost not a lot of confidence, because I'm stronger than that, but I've lost several layers of my self-esteem competing in certain systems that I feel like has torn me down mentally and emotionally. And of course, I still have my favorite systems that, you know, I think that does a wonderful job, because not all pageants are, you know, stressful, or they're not all caring about the money. There are some out there that I truly still believe in their vision and their mission for the future. But there's a lot of them that don't believe in that. My retirement is something I did for my mental health, my mental stability, and something that I feel like is best for me. You know, pageantry was a fun ride. It was a fun career, but it stopped speaking to me. It stopped speaking to me a long time ago. I try to hold on to this and try to push myself to still do it when I lost the drive and passion for it. Not because I wanted to, because I feel like I was forced to, considering that I don't connect with a lot of these systems anymore. I don't. And even if I competed for a title, I never truly saw myself representing those people, those individuals from that system, because they just didn't speak to me. The systems I chose to compete, I thought that I had a connection with them. I thought that it would be great for me, but things change, and I don't truly think that I would have been happy if I were to win. Granted, at the time when I did lose, it was very upsetting, it was very disappointing, it was devastating, but I picked myself back up, because like I said, what is meant for me will be for me. God knows that, the universe knows that, I know that. So even though I didn't win, I had to come to realize that maybe those systems weren't the right for me. And not even after my retirement, I'm still going to be modeling and doing things related to modeling. So, for example, right now I'm in Orlando competing at World's Perfect, but World's Perfect is a modeling pageant. So it's not necessarily a pageant, it's a modeling competition, it's a model search. And I feel like my passion lies within runway, lies within the modeling industry, which is why I started my agency. And I think pageantry is dying down for me. Certain aspects of pageantry I will miss, but it's time for me to focus on things that I still have a passion for and I still love, and that is modeling and runway. So I will be retiring from pageants, but I will not be retiring from modeling competitions or modeling related pageantry. But most of them are just runway related, and I still will be documenting those on this page, and I still will support, you know, other systems as a bystander, or as just a supporter, a sponsor, whatever I could be for systems that I recognized as a good system. And even though I'm announcing my retirement, maybe in the future, if I find something that speaks to me, I might compete and I might not. I'm 23, be turning 24 soon. 24 is a cutoff for a lot of systems. But there are still so many things out there that I still want to do and still want to experience, modeling related, that have aspects of pageantry. But pageants in general, I will be retiring from. I will not be competing in Miss Maryland again. I told you in the last video, maybe in the future. But as far as I'm concerned, that's a very thin line for me. So, we will see. I still enjoy, like I said, certain systems. I will be making a video maybe next week after this pageant is over, about my top 3 pageant systems that I still to this day will support no matter what, regardless if I'm competing or not. So give you an idea of what I look for in a system when I'm promoting these things, because I am very transparent and honest. If I don't appreciate something that has happened, or if I don't necessarily bond with a system, I will be very vocal about it. But no disrespect to these pageant directors, because it is very hard to promote a system. It's very hard to direct. It's very stressful for those people as well. And most of them don't mean any harm into hurting their contestants emotionally or mentally. But that's the way of the game. There's 100 women, one will win. So with that being said, this is my retirement video, and it's not really much of a big dramatic thing. Like, a lot of times people say retirement is like an end of something, but more for me, it's like a transition to something. But I call it retirement because this was a big part of my life. Half my life I've devoted to this, and it is very emotional, but I'm happy with my decision. And I hope this video helps people, either inspires them to, give it their all, or inspires them to make that decision that, they have been waiting on making for a long time. And I'm happy to have made this video, because a lot of people ask me why this was the decision I decided to make. But this is not about anybody else. It's about me and how I feel. So many people have told me not to do it, or they told me, give it another chance. My due time is coming. My due time is coming, but it's not for pageantry. But yeah, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you get notified every single time I post. Thank you so much for supporting me and watching me throughout this entire experience, and I will continue to post about my new endeavors with modeling, and still gonna be some pageant related content. There will still be a lot of pageant related content, so don't you worry. But nonetheless, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, home slice.